There's a lie you've been telling yourself. That shutting everyone out is strength. That staying quiet, staying hidden, staying distant is somehow protecting your peace. But the silence? It's not peaceful. It's loud. It echoes every insecurity you try to bury. It grows darker the longer you stay in it. You built a fortress thinking it would protect you, but you forgot one thing. A fortress doesn't just keep people out. It keeps you trapped in. Law 18 of the 48 Laws of Power makes it clear. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. And yet, that's exactly what we do when we feel we're not enough. When we haven't met our goals. When our pockets feel empty. When our dreams feel further away than ever. We retreat. We disappear. We convince ourselves the world is against us. That everyone is a threat. That we have to guard ourselves before we get hurt. But here's the truth. Isolation doesn't protect you from pain. It amplifies it. Every second you hide from the world, you validate the belief that you're not ready, not worthy, not enough. That lie becomes your truth. You start to overthink every interaction. You assume people are watching, judging, laughing. You assume they're against you, when in reality, no one's even thinking about you that deeply. They're busy fighting their own wars. The enemy isn't out there. It's the voice in your own head. And maybe you've got physical reasons for hiding. Maybe it's the bald head you cover up with hats every day. But let's be honest, it's never about the hair. It's about what you think losing it says about you. That you're not as attractive, not as youthful, that you've lost power. But that belief only has power because you never confronted it. You buried it. You ran from it. And in running, you gave it more weight than it ever deserved. You want confidence? It starts with exposure. Stepping out, raw and real. Walking into the light with all your insecurities and saying, "This is me. I'm not perfect. I'm not where I want to be. But I'm not hiding anymore." You don't need to reach your goals to be proud of yourself. You need to face the world without a mask. The fortress feels safe, but it robs you of experience, of feedback, of growth. It keeps you small. The irony is, what you fear, judgment, rejection, failure, is the exact thing that would set you free if you faced it. So stop retreating. Start engaging. Don't let isolation turn into self-erasure. Your story isn't meant to be whispered in the shadows. It's meant to be shouted in the light. You think you're playing it smart, sitting in silence, not sharing your ideas, not stepping out too far, telling yourself they wouldn't get it. Or worse, they don't deserve to see the real me. But deep down, you're not protecting anything. You're hiding shame, fear, a fear that if the world saw you unfiltered, they'd reject you. Or worse, laugh. That's the trap of isolation. It convinces you that safety equals silence. That not being seen is better than being seen and misunderstood. But this logic doesn't serve you. It limits you. You've got ideas, a personality, a fire, but you've built a routine of shrinking yourself to fit a world you're not even letting yourself experience. And with each day of silence, you become less expressive, more paranoid. You start overanalyzing everyone's tone, everyone's glance. You convince yourself everyone's watching, judging. Truth is, you're the only one replaying your failures on loop. You worry you don't have enough money. You haven't hit your goals. And because of that, you assume you don't deserve to take up space. But waiting to feel ready before expressing yourself is a trap. You will never feel ready. And if you isolate until perfection, you'll never participate. Isolation breeds delusion. It warps perception. The longer you stay inside your head, the harder it becomes to leave it. You start interpreting reality through a lens of fear instead of curiosity. You see enemies where there are none, threats where there's only indifference, or worse, opportunities. And then there's your appearance. Maybe your bald head, something you didn't choose but feel burdened by. So you wear a hat, thinking it protects you. But what it really does is reinforce shame. And shame thrives in solitude. That hat isn't armor. It's a muzzle, a silent agreement to remain unseen. The 48 Laws of Power tells you plainly, isolation cuts you off from information, from influence, from life. You think you're building a sanctuary, but you're digging a grave for your voice. Let this sink in. The version of you the world needs is not the perfected one, it's the present one. Get out of your head. Get into the world. Let your presence offend, inspire, or confuse. But let it be felt. You think your mind is helping you stay sharp by replaying conversations, studying reactions, questioning every move. But really, it's stalling. Overthinking isn't deep intelligence, it's emotional constipation, a mind addicted to control. And where does that lead? Back to isolation. You start believing everyone's your enemy, that nobody gets you, that you're the only one who thinks the way you do. But these thoughts are not reality. They're side effects of too much time alone with your own assumptions. You don't need to think more. You need to act more. Overthinking kills confidence. It convinces you that life is a chess match, when sometimes it's just dodgeball. Move. Speak. Get hit. Laugh. Try again. You don't need the perfect words. You need the courage to say something. Stop asking, what if I look stupid? What if they think I'm weird? Ask this instead, what if they're weird too? What if I don't express myself and end up never really knowing anyone at all? You don't overcome overthinking with more thinking. You overcome it with movement. Start small. Speak up when you normally wouldn't. Wear the outfit that makes you nervous. Show your bald head and don't flinch. Each step out of isolation is a rebellion against your old self. You're not just broke. You're blocked. You've built a mental dam around every ambition you've had, and now you're drowning in your own excuses. You've attached so much of your identity to what you don't have. No money, no status, no big wins. That's not reality. That's rehearsal. Rehearsal for failure. Every time you tell yourself, I'm not there yet, what you're really saying is, I'm not worthy until then. That thinking kills your drive. You don't hustle from a place of truth. You hustle from shame. You see someone with money, and your gut reaction isn't, let's go get it. It's, they must be lucky, or I'm too far behind. That's isolation too. You isolate yourself from abundance by thinking you're not a part of the same world. You treat money like it's a members-only club, and you forgot you were invited. You say you want success, but deep down you don't believe you deserve it. Why? Because somewhere, someone convinced you that having money makes you cocky, greedy, fake. And now you self-sabotage. You undercharge, you delay, you stay broke so you stay safe. But poverty isn't safety, it's paralysis. Understand this. Wealth is just a tool. It makes you louder, not better. If you're insecure now, you'll be insecure with money. If you're disciplined now, you'll multiply that discipline with wealth. Your relationship with money is just a mirror of your relationship with yourself. Stop making your bank account your identity. You are not broke. You are blocked. Unblock your self-worth. Unblock your grind. Unblock the belief that you can actually win. Overthinking is your addiction. Not thinking, overthinking. You analyze people's body language like you're decoding a threat. You walk in a room and scan for danger like a soldier fresh off deployment. Why? Because your mind has built a fortress, and now it thinks everything outside is hostile. You make everyone an enemy. You interpret silence as judgment. You read disinterest as hatred. You see critique and call it an attack. This hypervigilance is trauma masquerading as intelligence. You think you're just being careful, smart, alert. But really, you're just anxious. You're afraid to let people in because you're afraid of being seen. Because being seen means being exposed, and exposure terrifies you. It means your flaws are on display. It means your inner critic might be proven right. But here's the truth. You're not being watched as closely as you think. People aren't plotting against you. They're not studying your every move. They're too wrapped up in their own overthinking. You're not the main character in their story. You're a background extra in most people's minds. You're not hated. You're just hidden. And as long as you keep building your mental fortress, you will never feel safe. Fortresses don't keep enemies out. They keep you in. You ever try to speak up and feel like your voice shuts itself off? You ever dress a certain way, then change last minute because you didn't want to do too much? That's not taste. That's fear. That's the war against self-expression. You say you want to be free, but you're scared of being seen. You're scared someone will call you out. You're scared you'll look dumb, fake, or too into yourself. You've mistaken self-expression for ego, but they're not the same. Self-expression is freedom. Ego is fear in disguise. When you express yourself fully, you don't become arrogant. You become real. But here's the catch. Expression takes risk. It takes vulnerability. It takes stepping outside the lines, knowing full well that someone might not like it. You've spent so much time trying to be likable that you forgot how to be memorable. You don't need permission to express yourself. You don't need the right vibe, the perfect moment, or the green light from strangers. You need courage. You need audacity. You need to show up unedited. Every day you suppress yourself, you betray yourself. Every time you tone it down, hide your style, silence your truth, you lose power. Real power doesn't come from fitting in. It comes from standing out, especially when it's uncomfortable. Let's talk about your bald head. Not literally, but what it represents. The thing you're afraid to show. The raw, unfiltered version of you. The flaws. The imperfections. The look you feel exposes your weaknesses. You hide it under hats, under silence, under fake smiles. But deep down, that bald head is your metaphor. It's your fear of vulnerability. It's that thing you think people will laugh at, reject, or weaponize. You think if they see the real you, they'll turn away. But here's the truth. Hiding it doesn't protect you. It imprisons you. You wear shame like armor, but that armor is killing your movement. It's stopping your growth. It's stealing your confidence. What you think makes you less than might be the very thing that makes you stand out. People don't remember perfection. They remember courage. They remember authenticity. They remember the one who showed up anyway. Take the hat off. Metaphorically and literally. Stop shrinking yourself. Stop editing your identity. The more you try to erase the parts of yourself you think are unworthy, the more you disappear entirely. It's not that you're lazy, it's that you're lost. You're not unmotivated, you're disconnected. From purpose, from fire, from momentum. You want to do everything but can't seem to do anything. You scroll for hours hoping inspiration will strike. You plan and plot, but never execute. And the guilt builds. And the self-hate snowballs. You think, why can't I get it together? The answer? You're not grounded in anything real. You're floating in potential, never landing in action. You don't need more goals. You need more roots. You need a reason that's deeper than discipline, a reason rooted in love, not shame. When your why is punishment, your motivation dies. When your why is power, your grind becomes sacred. You don't need to work harder. You need to connect harder to your purpose, your values, your fire. Once you lock in, momentum stops being a mystery. It becomes your default. You've spent years building a mental fortress, brick by brick. You told yourself it was for protection, but now it's your prison. You thought isolating yourself meant power. You thought pulling away would make you untouchable, but all it made you was invisible. You hid behind perfectionism, silence, fake confidence, and goals you never really believed in. You said, I'm working on myself. But really, you were hiding from yourself. Every time someone tried to get close, you shut the door. You feared judgment so deeply that you became your harshest critic before anyone else could be. You rejected yourself first, just to avoid the sting. And what do you have to show for it? Your potential is on pause. Your purpose is wrapped in plastic. Your identity is still in beta mode, waiting for a version of you that feels ready. But newsflash, no version of you will ever feel ready inside a fortress. Because fortresses keep out everything, including the fuel you need to grow. Challenge, chaos, criticism, feedback, life. The moment you stop isolating is the moment you start becoming. The more you show up in the world, the more the world mirrors back the strength you forgot you had. That confidence you envy in others? It's not magic. It's exposure. It's reps. It's the byproduct of failing publicly and still walking tall. You will not build confidence in silence. You will not unlock your voice by whispering into voids. You will not express your truth while editing your soul for comfort. The fortress lied to you. It said safety. It meant stagnation. It said peace. It meant paralysis. It said protect yourself. It meant stay small. So tear it down, brick by brick. Let people see you stutter. Let them witness your imperfect style, your bald head, your unfiltered thoughts. Let them misunderstand you. It's part of the game. Stop folding your power just to make others comfortable. Stop shrinking your light to fit inside other people's shadows. The real you, the flawed, loud, passionate, expressive version, is the one built for freedom. You are not here to tiptoe through life. You're here to command it. You are not here to survive behind walls. You're here to walk through doors you were too scared to knock on. The fortress ends now. No more hiding. No more waiting. No more editing. From this day forward, you are the force, and the world will adjust.